And the big story this evening, viewers, the dark secret of coerced hijab imposition is finally out. Look at this poster on your screens. We'll just put out those visuals. These are Hindu students forced to cover their heads and tuck away every strand of their hair. Those are the posters we're talking about, and we've marked out some of those students belonging to the Hindu community as well. They aren't required to do this by their religion, but are being forced to do so by their school. The Ganga Jamuna School in Madhya Pradesh's Damoh is in the eye of a conversion storm. Now, after a poster surfaced, and this is the poster we're talking about, showing Hindu girls wearing hijab, students have come on record to claim that they were coerced into it. And after an outrage, an FIR has also been filed against the school. The Shivraj government has promised strict action against attempts to convert. However, the silence by the secular lobby is deafening. Remember, when the previous Karnataka government imposed a ban on hijab in the state of Karnataka to ensure uniformity, the same ecosystem erupted against what they called coercion on Muslim girls and a bid to saffronize. But today, when Hindu girls are being forced to wear a hijab, then they've all turned a blind eye. Is this Islamization secular? That's the question we ask. Now, first up, to put this in perspective, listen in to a former student claim that while hijab was imposed, symbols of Hinduism like Tika and the Suraksha Sutra, the Kalava, were not allowed. Listen in.
लड़कियां जो आपके साथ पढ़ती थी वो किस तरह से क्या ड्रेसअप होता था उनका?
वो ड्रेस के साथ हिजाब पहन कर जाती थी।
सब
हाँ,
हिंदू मुस्लिम सारी लड़कियां।
यस सर। जब मैं टीका लगा के जाता था तो टीका छुटवा लेते थे, रक्षा सूत्र बांध के जाता था तो वो भी कटवा लेते थे, और वो बोलते थे कि कल से पहन कर मत आना, और जाते भी थे तो मारते थे। वो बोलते थे कि जो नमाज जो पढ़ाते हैं वो अभी तुमसे आधा बनता है, पूरा कर आना, अगर नहीं आओगे तो मारेंगे।
अच्छा, नमाज भी पढ़ाते थे?
यस सर। सर, जब स्कूल की छुट्टी का टाइम होता था तो सब बच्चों से, पूरे स्कूल के बच्चों को ग्राउंड में खड़ा करते थे और सबसे पढ़ाते थे।
दमोह के गंगा जमुना स्कूल को लेकर जांच और तेज हो गई है। मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान ने अब चीफ सेक्रेटरी और डीजीपी को इस मामले में संज्ञान लेने के निर्देश दिए हैं। जांच में पता चला है कि गंगा जमुना स्कूल के संचालकों के और भी बहुत सारे बिजनेस है, जिसमें काले धन को सफेद करने से लेकर जिहादी मानसिकता के लोगों को फंडिंग तक करने के सबूत मिले हैं। अब गंगा जमुना स्कूल प्रबंधन की बाकी प्रॉपर्टीज की जांच चल रही है और साथ ही टेरर फंडिंग के एंगल से भी पुलिस जांच करेगी। देर रात गंगा जमुना स्कूल संचालकों पर एक एफआईआर भी दर्ज कर ली गई है। बच्ची के बयानों के आधार पर यह पता चला है कि बच्चियों को हिजाब पहनने के लिए मजबूर किया जाता था, साथ ही तिलक लगाने और कलावा बांधने को लेकर के प्रतिबंध भी लगाया गया था। सवाल ये भी उठ रहे हैं कि क्या गंगा जमुना स्कूल में धर्मांतरण करने की कोई फैक्ट्री चल रही थी?
सर, ये किसी ने नहीं बोला। आज हमारे भी बच्चे पढ़ते हैं, ये किसी स्कूल वालों ने नहीं बोला है। तो आप ये हिजाब पहन के आओ या नहीं आओ। 15 साल से हमारे बच्चे पढ़ रहे हैं, 12 साल से। ऐसा कोई नहीं है स्कूल में। अनलीगल काम होते ही नहीं है, ना हमारे बच्चों से कभी कहा है उनने।
The police on its part has filed an FIR, the NCPCR, and the Chief Minister have also vowed to act upon any bid of coerced conversion. Listen in.
प्रदेश में कुछ जगह धर्मांतरण के कुचक्र चल रहे हैं, हम उनको कामयाब नहीं होने देंगे। हमने जांच के भी निर्देश दिए, विशेषकर जो शिक्षण संस्थान हैं, चाहे मदरसे चलते हो, अगर गलत ढंग से शिक्षा भी दी जा रही होगी तो हम उसको भी चेक करेंगे। लेकिन दमोह की घटना में तो अब हमारे पास रिपोर्ट आ रही है, मुझे बता दिया गया है, ये बहुत गंभीर मामला है। और जैसा गृह मंत्री नरोत्तम मिश्रा जी ने बताया पहले ही, हम एफआईआर कर रहे हैं, कठोरतम कार्रवाई होगी।
The Congress, remember, rejected the hijab ban in Karnataka as saffronization to target Muslim girls. Will they now stand by Hindu girls forced to wear a hijab? Watch how this time around they call this a diversion and refuse to even condemn it. Listen in.
बात ये है कि मुद्दा क्रिएट किया जाता है सारा प्रेस लगा हुआ था महाकाल के अंदर भ्रष्टाचार का मुद्दा डाइवर्ट करना था, हिंदू मुस्लिम करना था, तो हिजाब ले आए। दमोह में, कर्नाटक में जो हुआ, कितना चला हिजाब का मैटर, कितना चला, नतीजा क्या निकला?
There are questions that need to be asked. Let's quickly open this up. We have academician and political analyst Professor Geeta Bhatt, along with analyst Mithun Vijay Kumar, Hassanul Haq, and also lawyer Ahmed Ayaz completes the panel. My first question is to you, Mr. Ayaz. And we're drawing a direct parallel with what had happened in Karnataka and the thought behind the BJP government's move to ban hijab in the state. They said uniformity is the need of the hour. And remember the kind of reactions that came in with several who went on to call this an attempt to saffronize. What will the same lobby say today? What will you say today, Mr. Ayaz?
No, as I say, it's not a matter of what the lobby speaks about. As I see that this looks to be a conspiracy because taking the case of MP, what we are discussing right now, we have seen some individual talking just before, saying that for last 15 years we have not seen anybody forcing or anybody asking for people to wear hijab there in the school. Ganga Jamuna
a parent
School.
of a Muslim
How is that
child.
It has come
One
today?
of the Muslim
I don't say
children who was studying in the school, that parent said that none of this has happened, nothing has been forced upon them. But did you also hear one of the victims who has now come out of the school, stepped out from the school, given these very reasons? Would you not want to comment on that, Mr. Ayaz?
Well, what I see is that this looks to be some conspiracy because, of course, wearing the hijab is obligatory for Muslims, but there is no force. And even to the Muslim girls, Muslim women to wear the hijab. How come it could be for non-Muslims to wear the hijab? I don't see any reality in it. To me, it looks to be some conspiracy, something to create some situation, the way we call Hindu-Muslim issue.
Are you saying some of these victims, some of these school children, are you saying some of these school children today have been forced to come out with this narrative and build on this narrative to create unrest in the society? Is that what you're implying, Mr. Ayaz? Before I quickly take it across to Ms. Geeta. Okay, if it's not a conspiracy, will you condemn it, sir?
Something is definitely wrong.
Is this secular, sir? Will you condemn it?
Of course. Of course, then it is condemnable because there is no force in Islam. Even when you marry two, even in the Islam it said. So you have to ask thrice to the girl whether it is acceptable to you or not. So there is no force. You can understand there is no force.
So if there's been coercion in this case, Professor Geeta Bhatt, it's most condemnable is what Mr. Ayaz is saying. But what do you make of this entire episode? And the deafening silence, most importantly, because we just played out a Congress reaction. There are those who are today seeing this as a diversionary tactic. It's that bizarre.
Well, it's definitely, this has come out as a very shocking incident, and there's an echo issue. Can please get it corrected? And it appears to be part of some very, larger conspiracy, because now when the victims have come out and they are revealing what used to happen inside the school, and also the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights chairperson has also informed that even this is a school, it is a learning institution. And in this, temple of education, inside the map of India which has been placed inside this institution, that is an absolutely distorted map that has been placed. I mean, there are various, ayats or the verses of Quran which are present inside the school, which are written on the walls. And as one of the victims was telling on your channel, that how they were beaten up if they were not dressed up in covering their face, and when they were being forced to actually do prayers on Friday. And I mean, this looks to be part of a much larger conspiracy.
Okay. They were forced to follow certain Islamic traditions. We're hearing from the horse's mouth, Mr. Hassanul Haq, what explains this? There are students who are threatened, when they express their desire to wear a tilak, to sport a kalava, they are threatened that if you come back with this tika tomorrow, we're going to have it. you're going to have it our way. There are kids who are threatened, and then there are children who are forced to wear a hijab. There are angles of terror funding that are being suspected, of conversion as well.
हमारा देश हिंदुस्तान संविधान से चलता है. हमारे पास राइट टू रिलीजन है हिंदुस्तान में सबके पास. वो कलावा बांधे हमारे भाई हिंदू भाई, हमारी हिंदू बहनें घूंघट करें या हमारी मुसलमान बहनें हिजाब करें, सबको अधिकार है, उनके मौलिक अधिकार है ये कि वो कैसे करें. लेकिन आज मुद्दा ये नहीं है. बड़े अफसोस की बात है कि आज हिंदुस्तान में मुद्दा चल रहा है हिंदू मुस्लिम हिजाब कलावा. अरे ये मुद्दे है ही नहीं. अरे बस्ती में अभी 4 घंटे 5 घंटे पहले
सर मुद्दा ये है सर.
उत्तर प्रदेश नहीं, मैम नहीं बोलने देंगे आपको.
समय नहीं बर्बाद करते हसनुल हक जी. मुद्दे पे आइए. जो मेरा सवाल है उसका एक सिंपल सा जवाब दे दीजिए. अगर कर्नाटका में हिजाब बैन होता है सर, सब बाहर निकल के कहते हैं कि ये सैफ्रनाइजेशन अटेम्प्ट है, कि ये राइट विंग का डेलिब्रेट अटेम्प्ट है सैफ्रनाइज करने के लिए स्टेट को. टुडे सर, when the same thing is happening in Madhya Pradesh, wherein children are being forced to don a hijab, they're being forced to wear a headgear, sir. There is silence. There is absolute silence. What happened to the secular lobby, Mr. Hasanul Haq? सर मेरे ऊपर बोलने से कोई फायदा नहीं है सर. जस्ट प्लीज रिस्पॉन्ड टू माय लिमिटेड पॉइंट.
हिंदू मुस्लिम की बात, अरे बेशर्मो है ये लोग जो बैठे हुए हैं डिबेट में. ये भी बेशर्म है, हिंदू मुस्लिम की बातें कर रहे हैं. इसके अलावा डिबेट में ये क्या
सर, you know, it's quite bizarre. Before I go across to Geeta, it's quite bizarre, Mr. Mithun Vijay Kumar. Today, Mr. Hasanul Haq is very angered at why we're talking about, you know, a Hindu-Muslim agenda, why we're trying to bring in this agenda, but we're running away from the facts. Please enlighten him where the problem is today.
See, Hasanul Haq, this looks very bizarre because their children are forced to wear a religious uniform. That's it. That is the problem. They are forced to wear hijab. It's not their choice, or it is not a uniform. They have been forced to wear this. And in this particular case, if you see, the students themselves have come out and said that they are, you know, forced to wear a headscarf and follow Islamic traditions, which includes performing namaz as well. And this is not some conspiracy. There are several visual proofs as well that show, you know, Hindu girls wearing hijab. But on the other hand, there is a report that, you know, school management is also stopping students from wearing tilak and Suraksha Sutra. And you just take a look at their social media page. You can see even for sports day, students are wearing hijab.
Yes.
So this is nothing but a school-focused Islamization campaign.
And if what happened in Karnataka was being seen as an attempt to saffronize, then is this not Islamization, and is this secular? That's the question that continues to be asked, and perhaps Mr. Hasanul Haq must respond to this limited question. This is a big focus this evening. Thank you, gentlemen, and Ms. Geeta for joining us. We need to quickly put out an important update coming in.